In this video, we will talk about the importance of setting fitness goals, tips when we set our desired goals, and mistakes to avoid when we set our goals. And by the end of the video, I will share good and poor goal setting examples while explaining each one of them. Hello everyone, my name is Dawsar, and let's start quickly without any more delays. First of all, I would like to talk about the importance of setting our fitness goals. Setting fitness goals makes long-term changes seem more possible, and especially if you break down your long-term goal into smaller and easier goals so you don't get frustrated from the beginning. For example, let's say you want to lose 20 kilograms or 45 pounds. And you say, I want to lose 20 kilograms or I want to lose 45 pounds. It might be difficult for your mind to digest from the beginning that big amount of change. But if you instead of that say, I want to lose 2 kilograms a month or I want to lose 5 pounds a month, it will be easier for you to start. Number two is setting goals keeps you motivated along the way because it makes you track your progress and you can notice the small changes build up with every small goal you achieve. Number three, every workout session becomes much more efficient and fun and goal-oriented because you know exactly what you are doing. For example, let's say you want to burn around 300 calories in your workout every day. So you have to look for something that burns that amount of calorie. Maybe if you walk for 20 minutes, that won't do it. Maybe if you lift weights, that won't do it either. But if you jog or even walk for a period of 45 minutes or an hour, you might be able to burn that much of calories. So your workout session becomes much more oriented to what you want exactly and related exactly to your goal. Now let's talk about tips for setting effective fitness goals. There are 5 elements you need to be aware of when you set your goal. These elements are specific, measurable, realistic and attainable, relevant, and time-limited or time-bounded. Let's start with the first 2 points, specific and measurable. If you can accurately specify and measure your goal, it's like you know the location and direction to it, which makes it much easier to achieve. Otherwise, you will probably be lost, because if you don't know where you are going, then how you are going to achieve it? Point number 3, realistic and attainable. You can dream big, but you have to be realistic so you don't get disappointed and quit early. And I highly advise you to break down your goal, like I said before, into an easier and smaller goals so you don't get frustrated and you get a sense of achievement along the way. Number 4 is relevant, and this is the most important tip in my opinion, because if something isn't relevant to you and something isn't important to you, then you probably won't go too far in that thing, whatever it is. So you should really dig deep down and ask yourself what you want to achieve and why you want to achieve it. It has to be something very relevant and important to you, and it has to be personally and emotionally important to you as well. So you keep going regardless on how you feel, regardless of the situations you are in, because things change in life. You know, sometimes we feel good, sometimes we feel bad, sometimes we're motivated, sometimes we're not. So if something isn't really personally related to you or emotionally related to you, you will find it actually very difficult to go through with it through the years. Point number 5 is time limit or time bounded. Once you know exactly what you want to achieve and why do you want to achieve it, then it's time to set a time limit for that goal. Just to get a sense of urgency and get your work done on time and not keep slacking and leaving things undone. Now let's talk about mistakes to avoid or at least to be aware of when we set our goals. Number 1, being afraid to adjust our goals. Adjustment doesn't mean failure. It simply means that you found something that doesn't work for you and you want to adjust it or change it to something more suitable for you. This is called experience. You become aware of what works and what doesn't. Because bodybuilding or fitness is not an exact science. You need to actually examine a few things over a long period of time to make sure that these things are actually working for you. Number 2 is tracking your progress. Tracking your progress is very important because when you look back at how far you came, it will actually ignite the motivation in you to keep you going for further and further. And before you know it, you will notice that you will begin to adapt these small fitness changes in your daily routine until it becomes a lifestyle. And this is really a big deal, because once you adapt these fitness changes, no matter how small they are, once you adapt them into your daily routine until they become part of your lifestyle, quitting just gets out of the question. It will be much easier when you reach that point. It will be much easier for you to keep going rather than quitting. And the last one is focusing on perfection. We all make mistakes and no one can be perfect. So forget about perfection, because you will be disappointed and it will set you up to failure. You have to be patient with yourself, and you have to give yourself time to learn and observe new information. Also, don't be afraid to try new things. Even though you might make mistakes, but that's okay, because it's the only way to learn. You have to make mistakes to learn. Alright, so after all of that, let's just have a look at some good and poor goal-setting examples. Let's start with some poor goal-setting examples. I bet you've heard this many times before. I want to be stronger, I want to be healthier, or I want to lose some weight. These are all very poor goal-setting examples. I wouldn't actually classify them as goals because they are so vague, they are not specific, there is no clear way in measuring any of them. Also, they are not limited with the time. For example, let's say you've decided to lose some weight, and then you started working out really hard, and after a while, you feel like you've actually lost some weight. But then one of your friends came and say, you actually look like you've gained some weight. How you are going to know which one of you is right? Without weighing yourself over weeks and months, without tracking your progress over weeks and months, how you are going to know if your workout is actually working for you or against you? And how you are going to know if your nutrition is actually working for you or against you? Now let's have a look at some good goal-setting examples. Okay, here's the first example. Let's say someone said, I want to lose 18 kilograms or 40 pounds within 12 months. And to do that, I need to lose around 1.5 kilogram or 3.5 pounds each month. Now this is a very good goal-setting example. It is specific, it is measurable, it is realistic in my opinion, and it is limited with the time. Well, of course, I'm gonna leave the relevant one because everyone has their reasons. The second example is, let's say someone decided to start doing cardio, and she said, after 6 months from now, I want to be able to run at a speed of 5 miles per hour or 8 kilometers per hour for a straight 45 minutes, and I want to be able to do that 5 times a week. Another example would be, I want to increase my bench press weight by 5% while keeping 8 repetitions and while keeping good form, and I want to be able to do that within 5-6 months from now. One more example, I want to reduce my heartbeats per minute from 75 beats per minute to 65 beats per minute within 6 to 8 months from now. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope that was helpful for you, and good luck with your goal setting. See you very soon in the next video.